And I think we're live. Are we live? Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm gonna check, but can you also check if we're live? Just like to double check if we are. Okay, it looks like we are live, at least on my side. Are we live on your side?
Let me just.
It's actually so much fun to do a live stream together versus doing it by myself.
I have to do it here because my phone shows me this on Facebook. All right.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm definitely live here, so we should have some comments and everything going on there. You can just check that, and while I'm doing that, hello, everybody! Whoop whoop! Welcome to this Q&A party with Michaela and myself. I'm sorry about my neighbors. If you hear them, they're renovating. That's what's happening with them. Okay, so today we're gonna have a Q&A live stream, which means that you guys can ask any questions that you want to Michaela or to me as you guys jump on. And also we're going to celebrate that Michaela has done 163,200, if I'm not incorrectly, right?
Yes.
In 60 days. And we're also going to talk about, how do you become the mentor that's literally on track from 7 figures with 6-figure testimonials when like a couple of months ago you were making like 10K months. This was not necessarily in your realm of world. Let's just say that. So let me just read exactly what we will cover. So we're going to cover literally how Michaela went from 10K to 163 in 60 days. Also what it takes to get big results like this, and how to be the mentor that actually delivers. Hi, everybody that's jumping on. But first of all, we're just going to celebrate. And can you tell everybody else what you just did this week as well? We can have that also in here.
Well, this week, starting Monday night till this morning, 59,000 in sales and 59,000 in cash.
Woohoo! And you also had some other people that wanted to buy and they're sending you money today, right?
Yes.
So then it should go up.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, so we're almost collapsing this whole thing in a week.
Yep.
Okay. So can you just share with everybody, that's your amazing race results, but share some of the amazing client results you've had in the last 60 days.
Oh, I had amazing results. So basically one client, she collapsed time around her sales as well. So she was doing like 13,500. Why is English sometimes like so difficult? So 13,500 in sales and 13,500 in cash in one day, because sales and cash is usually not the same, but it's like a match here. Then another client of mine, she did 22,000 in sales and 18,000 in cash in only 4 days. And 4 out of 5 clients, they paid her in full. And then, client results have just changed because another client of mine, she just hit her first 50K cash month, and we are in week 5. And the list is going on. We're not done yet. So another client result is 25,200 in sales and 11,000 in cash in just 10 days. And then
I'm just gonna say, this. I think everybody, she has more clients results, and we're gonna go through the clients results on this live stream today. But I think everybody. What?
I want to share one more.
Okay, share the last one. Okay, yeah.
And the last is like really outstanding. This is like 458,000 in sales and 300,011 in cash in 9 weeks.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You can share it. You have so many results. I'm like, okay, we need to stop at some point. But okay, so everybody that's watching now and that will be watching the replay, you can literally just type in your comments here. I think I'm going to see them here. Or if you have any questions when you're watching the replay, you can just like literally just put them in the chat. Okay, so here's the thing. Everybody is going to think, how the fuck is this possible? And they're also going to think, okay, Michaela probably had like a bunch of clients testimonial beforehand. I don't have that, so I can never do this. Or they're going to think like, you probably had a big audience and you were making a lot of money beforehand. So can you explain to everybody what was really going on for you before 60 days ago?
A lot was going on. So I did have client results, yes, but the thing is, like, it's a total different thing to have a business that really generates a lot of money or to manifest money randomly. Because my clients before, they would make money in the business, but they also like manifested money randomly. And I really wanted to laser focus it down to the business. And when people think, oh, I don't have testimonials yet. I mean, we all started at some point in business, yeah? So every single entrepreneur on planet Earth started somewhere at 0.0. So if you use that as an excuse, fine. But if you don't want to let it stop you.
Well, no, but it's not really necessary. And I also think that a lot of people share what you had with your clients. You know, let's just say they manifested something from their mom or their uncle or like a friend or I don't know, something, and they don't say that money actually came from somewhere else and not necessarily from sales. And I think that is like a really, really big difference, because now all your clients or souls are literally coming directly from people's businesses and they're actually profiting. They're not just manifesting, you know, from an alien coming down from Mars. I don't know. Just
100% from business, even clients who were kind of like, no, we are not selling, we're hiding behind the business. Even they have amazing results.
Yeah, I know. Right. So that's important. But what else was happening for you? Because people probably think there must be, you know, you must be an alien because you have done that. So what else were happening back then?
Back then, okay, let me go back in time.
If you can go there, yeah.
I was kind of like my business was going like, okay, some money, no money, some money, more money, less money. It's kind of like not steady and definitely not like, okay, if I wanted to plan, let's say, because we're going to go there a little bit later on. If I wanted to plan, okay, this week is going to be whatever, 50K week, whatnot, I could not plan it because the industry was full of me coaching like, oh, let's just rely on the universe. Let's just align more. Let's just trust more. And then, yes, this is frustrating. If you have a business, you also want to have it like you want to be able to plan out your income, yeah, and not just like rely on some happy coincidence or whatever.
Because that's what you were doing, right?
Yeah, because this is how I was taught.
Yeah, and I think that's how a lot of people are taught.
Yeah, but this is not like, if I look back, this is not how you do business. You can do this if you want to like really have a fun time in your spare time, but really, if you want to have a business, you don't want to do it this way.
Which is really anxious, I would think. Like, you're really anxious, even though it kind of feels like, okay, clients are coming someday, maybe, I don't know. Like, it creates a lot of anxiety, you know, in business in general.
Yeah, because it creates a lot of frustration. I mean, it's normal that it creates a lot of frustration because then you have some money, you're over the moon, and then it's like, okay, what are you doing wrong? Because you do feel good, you do the channeling, you do align, and then it's like, and you're like, what's going on? And yes, this is stressful because back then, to be honest, I had times where I thought about, okay, what is plan B? Plan B is I will have to get a job. I didn't want to go back into a corporate job, yeah? But this is also what the industry teaches you, because the industry says like, oh, let's just remove the fear. So what could possibly be your backup plan so that you would feel safe? I didn't start my business to feel safe with a backup plan of like having a corporate job. I feel safe in my business when I have a plan like, okay, this is the amount of money that is coming in this week.
Yeah. This is kind of crazy also to teach you that you have a saving plan, as in with going back to a job, which is kind of why we started the business in the first place. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's just go a little bit into how you did this, because everybody's going to be like, okay, that's great, but how the fuck did you do it? That's like important. And I know you guys probably have heard me talk about like 1 billion times before that you need to get clear on the thing only you can do. And that is very, very important. That special thing only you can do. This is the first step. But there's another thing that's also very important, and that is to allow yourself to be the mentor that, or the woman that is and has that thing only you can do. And what I really mean by this is, let's just say I showed Michaela that thing only she can do, which I did, but she could be like disagreeing with me. She can be, one day she could say, yes, I believe you. And the next day she could say, I don't. Like, she can flip back and forth. She can feel aligned at one day and the next day, it doesn't feel aligned. Or even, and some people can do it with like marketing. Let's just pretend I told you, here's the post, write this thing. And they're like, yes. And then, no, I don't want to do this. Maybe I want to do a little bit of this and that and the other. And here's the thing, everybody, to the degree that Michaela, or anybody for that matter, like really fully, openly and trust me, dictates how much you're going to allow yourself to be the mentor with that thing only you can do. And this is very important. And here essentially is why. Because in order to leap, and you know this, Michaela, I don't think we all know this. In order to leap really, really big, yes, you need to get clear on that thing, but you also need clients that leaps with you. It's not enough that they just want to pay you. It's not enough that they just pay you in full. Even they have to be leapers. Like, there are different types of people. And in order to have that big quantum leap, you need like people that can do like your clients. They have gone to like 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K, whatnot. Like they are like big leapers. And here's the thing that people may not want to hear is that to the degree someone trusts equals if they make, let's say, $10,000 in 60 days or $160,000 in 60 days. And the thing is, like, your clients always mirrors you. There's just like, I say this all the time. There's no such thing as like you are trusting and fully open and then your clients just like magically like don't do it for whatever reason. That just doesn't exist. I know that can be a little bit hard to hear, but it's just everything is a mirror. When it comes to law of attraction, all these kinds of things, law of attraction truly is just like you attract what you are, how you live and how you behave every single day, and everything around you is just mirroring, your own behavior or who you really are, So in order to allow yourself to not only become aware of that thing only you can do, but actually embody it and be it 110% and do anything like Michaela did, there are certain behaviors that you must do and you should not do on a daily basis. So I'm going to ask you, Michaela, what kind of new behaviors did you need to adapt in your life to actually embody this? And also, what do you see in your own clients? Like, what do you see is the difference between someone leaping with you making, let's just say they just return their investment to make 10K cash versus making 6-figure cash? Like, what are you seeing specifically?
Okay, yeah, it's just as you said, like when I was not making money, I was doing exactly the same thing that people, like the habits people have who are not making a lot of money, yeah? And now I have leaped not only money-wise, because money is just a byproduct. You as a person need to grow. And for instance, I removed that, sorry if I just rolled my eyes, I removed that working when I only felt like working, because this is what I was taught. Old coaches would tell me, yeah, you just like feel good and then it flows and then you're magnetic. Yeah. So I have never seen someone going to 1 million just like lying on the beach all day, unless he invested into projects where the money would work for him, but not if you own a business where you as a person are in there. Yeah. Then also, you have to remove like the burnout business model. And what I mean by that is you only can take on a certain amount of like one-on-one clients, for instance. That's just an example, yeah? So, and also with the courses, yeah? Because every person has like 24 hours time each and every single day. You don't want to work 24/7. You also don't want to work on the weekends. So, and if your business is like set up, and mine was set up like this, I wasn't even aware of that. I was like, holy moly, yeah, because I only saw that out there. People would like create programs after program after program and one-on-one clients, build a Facebook community, and then you find yourself like being all over the place every day. And even when I had weekends, I was like, yeah, let's just like feel good. And in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, I should post in my Facebook group. I should be doing this. Yeah, I couldn't kind of like get my head off my business. Why? Because I knew, okay, I'm not making as much money as I want to make. And I didn't even know that I had a burnout business model. So I had to remove that stuff and really set up my business in a way that is not overworking me and not burning me out, all while giving me more money. Yeah. And in order to remove that, I had to let go of what I knew. Yeah. So that's just 2 examples. And then also, when I launched the programs, usually they were around about, I don't know, like 222 to like 2000. Yeah. And I was really happy when I had sales there, but I wasn't aware that this is not setting me up for like 7 figures a year. So, and this, like, usually when you have a burnout business model, this is what you find people doing. They do all these programs for like 222 up to like 2000. This is not going to give you 7 figures. Yeah. So you also have to
let me just say, how did you figure that out, that was not going to give you the 7 figures?
Well, it's just like a one-on-one calculation. If you just like, okay, if I have a $2,000 program, how many people do I need if I really want to hit like 6 figures? And then it's like, okay, you have 6 figures, and then you're like, oh, the program is not done yet. I'm still in the middle of doing the program, which is most likely not sold out. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, then I need to start the sales again because I need to run it again, because otherwise I won't be able to do it again. And this is like really the burnout business model. And this is where I found myself in. This is why I will constantly launch. I will constantly do like selling. I will constantly show up so that people would buy. And I haven't even had one coaching all while doing all of that. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, you have to do it again. You have to do it again. You have to do it again. And then it's like not fun anymore. So, and then I also did, and I know people don't want to hear this, I did what did not feel aligned. Yeah, because I will talk about it a little bit later on, because if you want to grow, you also want to do things that are new to you, and your brain just doesn't like new stuff. That's normal. So if you keep doing what just feels good, chances are you're not on track for 7 figures. Then, as I spoke before, like I was trying to build a community. You don't need any of that. I believe I have like 800 Instagram followers, and I skipped the Facebook group. So, and I believe I have like 1,600 something Facebook friends. So no big following, no email list, no, nothing, none of that. Yeah. So it's not necessary. And I was like, before I was like so focused on building all of that, because this is what I was taught. Like, give away value, build a community, speak to the people, share your story, all these, and this is just like, it's not gonna get you anywhere. And I mean, it can get you anywhere in 10 years, but definitely not in that time frame. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the question. From your client's point of view, what do you think is the biggest difference between the ones that does 10K in a month and those that does 150 in a month?
Okay, those who do 150 in a month, they do what I tell them, and they don't go on vacation. They commit to their goal, and even, yes, if it's uncomfortable, they do it anyways. Like they are the no matter what people, and not the, oh, only as long as it feels good. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing I want to teach everybody, because obviously we don't want to sit there and teach people that you shouldn't be happy in your life and you shouldn't be excited in your life, and you shouldn't be, right? You shouldn't be feeling aligned in that kind of sense. It's just that whenever you're going to have like a big quantum leap and do something new in your life, it's not going to feel good, in the sense of like your brain will think it's dangerous. Your brain will think like, you literally give you a signal of like, you feel like you're going to throw up. You feel like this was the horrible, and thoughts like, what the fuck are you doing, bitch? Like, what's happening? Like, all of these kinds of things are going in the inside, which is a very positive thing, really, because it means that you're outside of your comfort zone, and unconditional trust, you feel like, is important in order to allow yourself and accept that you are really as good as you say you are. Because here's here's another thing that Michaela had to adapt. And I think this is the thing that people probably struggle with the most, because I was sharing with her what's special about you. But then on the sales calls, you really have to accept that you are the best. You really have to be okay with being the best. Even if you don't have it, she didn't have any fucking clients or soul at that point when we were doing that. I just literally sat there and told her, this is you, you're cool and all that stuff. And she accepted it. And then on the sales calls, then she also had to learn to be like, really come from that sense of confidence and not just buying into people's excuses and anything like that. So can you just share with people how uncomfortable that actually is, and why that is what they really actually need to do in order to have a leap?
Okay, how uncomfortable it was. On a scale from 1 out of 10, it was a straight 12.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because yes, it is new, yeah, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, yeah. So, but then I just leaned in, yeah, I just leaned in and I did it anyways. And you can trust me, like I have written like 100 journals before about confidence, 100 journals before about like really leaping big. Like the written words did not give me that feeling, but the experience, like once you do it, once you experience it, then your brain like actually gets to like, oh, this is this, yeah. So and once you have had that success, then it becomes easier and easier and easier, and suddenly it's normal, yeah. You don't even doubt it. So here we go again. Like you just have to be that bigger version of you. You cannot just be the aligned version, just what feels good. Because if I only do, as you said, we don't want to teach people how to be unhappy in your business. No, but we want to teach you how to grow. And growing doesn't mean it feels good. Because if it feels good when I want to grow, I'm not growing.
Yeah, totally. 110%. And here's the unique thing about you also, Michaela, and that everybody should know. Like, Michaela, she does everything that I tell her to do, like, hands down. I had never heard, like, I don't want to do that. I never heard, like, I can't do that. I never heard, like, I will do that. I will just test it and then figure out what happens afterwards. Or I will do it a little bit. Or let's see where this is going. Like, that's not what's happening. Like, she's just all in, like, and that's very, very important, because I say, like, you're either all in or all out, because anything in between is struggle. Okay, because the thing about what you really, really, truly need is the trust and the allowance, because however you are in your relationship with your mentor is just a mirror of how much you trust yourself, really. As long as your mentor know what the fuck you're doing, and we wouldn't have these kinds of results if we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. So that's like the difference, because I don't think people should trust anybody when it comes to the coaches, but trust is essential, and it's just a mirror of how much you trust yourself at the end of the day. Like, quantum leaps are not possible without it. And I also think that the people that kind of compares themselves, like, let's just say, oh, but I made 10K and I haven't made like 80, that kind of thing. It's almost like 100% certain that they're not really all in. They're kind of checking things out or half in or like stuff like that. But what do you want to say to the people that's like, okay, you made $163,000 in 60 days. I just need a bigger audience, and I just need like more leads, and I need more sales. I don't need to like change my behavior and get uncomfortable and set boundaries with my clients and shit. What do you want to say to those people that think that?
You don't need any of that, but what you need is a bigger version of you, yeah. And this bigger version needs like really bigger confidence, bolder actions, bolder moves, all of that. That's the only thing you need. And if you believe, oh, I just visualize that version of me. No, this is not possible, because also here you only visualize what feels good. And if it feels good, you're still the same version, yeah? So this is what you actually really need. And let me just see it. You also don't need like many people. I said it before, I have like 800 followers, and I barely use Instagram, to be honest. So I'm mainly working my business on Facebook, because just I like Facebook way more. And yeah, you don't need any of that. This is a misconception. You don't need a bigger audience. You don't need more people. You also don't need the right people. What you need is the bigger, bolder, version of you, and not only you being that, you are only being that when you're doing that. Because as I said before, when you do it and when you grow, first it's uncomfortable, but then it becomes normal, and suddenly the uncomfortable feels aligned, and this is when you are grounded into this new version. This is also, like from my experience, this is also then when you're able to do that kind of results on repeat.
And yes, and actually, why don't you just tell everybody, because you made this amount now, but then you have made like almost $60,000 in like 3 days or whatnot, and it's going to be more. And the conversation that we had on Monday was all about you're changing your behavior and you're changing your habits. Can you share with everybody, because this is how you truly manifest what we really did. Can you share with everybody what you actually changed to literally collapse like a month in like 3 fucking days or whatever?
In 36 hours. This is how manifestation works. You don't like just do woo-woo stuff and put it out to the universe. My behavior changed in a way of like, I owned what I'm doing, and that ownership, also here, if you ask me like prior, I was like, yeah, ownership, I know all about ownership, but it's a whole new thing to really first experience why you're not owning, and then really giving your brain the opposite experience of like, okay, we're owning this shit now.
What is the difference, because before you felt like you were owning it. When you look back now, what's the difference? What were you perceiving that you were owning, and what's actually different now?
Now I'm owning the results, and also like my confidence went through the roof, because I know I can deliver, and I know I can give my clients results no matter what, and not just like speaking about it. And also by owning that, I was setting way stronger boundaries. Yeah. So it's kind of like the ownership. I wasn't even aware like this ownership had such a huge impact on like every area.
Yeah. What else happened?
What else happened? Well, I had like sales and cash are the same. Yeah. So no more payment plans, whatever. And even like, people would just like reach out to me saying like, okay, let's work, let's do it. Yeah. It's also, let me just think, because so much happened. So basically it's like, it became really easy. Because first I was like, okay, is this going to happen this week? And then I'm like, oh, fuck it, we're going to do it anyway.
And this is A, because she unconditionally trusts. B, she's aware what only she can do, and now she own it because she really can see how her clients is actually going to get results. And I think that's one of the biggest differences. But that doesn't happen unless you trust yourself and you trust your mentor. Because what do you want to say to everybody is like, oh, I'm just going to be the mentor by myself, like, because there are people that sometimes think that way.
That's not in a million years is this going to be possible.
Why?
Because you as a human being, well, this is just my perception, yeah, but you as a human being, you're also like kind of like an entity of yourself, and you do have blind spots. So you just cannot see what's going on for you, because I always say like actions prove or actions show the patterns, no matter if it's the good or the bad ones, but the actions reveal every single pattern there. So, and sometimes you're just like so used to your stuff and so used to you, because I mean, I'm turning 40 this year. I know myself for 40 years. Yeah. And this is why you're kind of like, you don't have the perspective like someone else has on you.
Okay. And then here's another question. If you look at your top 3 best clients results, what was the biggest shift that you made in them?
Oh, the confidence, definitely the confidence. And confidence alone is not enough, because I can sit confident enough on my couch doing nothing. Yeah. So really confidence, and then really doing the things and committing to it. Yeah. Because like everyone has dreams, so let's go and make it happen. Yeah. And it doesn't come from like, oh, let's just lean back and wait for it to come when we have the power. So this, I would say, confidence, then like really the commitment to the action. What else has shifted? Also for them growing as a mentor, and yes, of course, their bank account.
But like right now, one of your clients literally made her first $50,000 cash month. What did you do with her?
She's now owning that she is really amazing in what she's doing, even though she was really experienced. And like, to give you an example, she was super good in sales. Yeah. So she knew all about the sales, but she was very low in cash. So we changed that around, and
wait. How did you change that around?
Well, basically, let me just think. Did we even change? I believe we changed. Yeah, we changed the payment plans, and we really, I really made her own, like, people paying her in full. Because usually people are like, oh, let's just create long payment plans because then they will buy from me, then they can work with me. But that's not owning. So, and now almost everyone who signs up with her is like paying her in full. And she doesn't even feel like, she doesn't even feel uncomfortable anymore. It's like supernatural.
And here's another thing, like the outcome of all this process is supernatural confidence, as you just said. But another thing is that you don't ever have to worry about anybody copying your marketing or your words or anything like that. Whenever I have people coming in and trying to copy my stuff, or you having, or people try to copy your stuff, like, because people copy people, I'm never ever worried about that, because when you just copy something, like just as an example, you don't really have the awareness of that thing you can do. When you don't have the awareness, you can't create the confidence. When you don't have like the mentor that can show you the way, you are out of integrity when you're selling to your own clients, because you're trying to make them sell something you're not actually buying yourself, for instance. And then you don't have the trust that's required, and then you don't have the sales process and the DMs and all that kind of stuff. So I just want everybody to understand, like, hey, if somebody's ever copying you, you don't have to worry about that, because they're not going to, get much results, and that this process is more complicated than just like what you see in the actual marketing, right? Just numbers, or just like I'm celebrating or whatnot. Like, that is just like a mini part about it.
I just had, I want to share, because I had like 7-figure earners trying to copy me. Yes, they can, but it's not going to work for them, because they are not me. Yeah, they cannot do what I do, and I know when it comes to like the delivery from what I do, no matter what they use from me, they're not going to have the results like me.
So it's very interesting, you guys, to think about. If 7-figure entrepreneurs are copying you, you're not at the 7 figures yet, which means that they genuinely believe that your marketing is better than their marketing.
And it's not like marketing. If they only knew how small that part is from the entire thing.
Yeah, because you have the visible and then you have the invisible, and everything we're talking about today is really the invisible part, that you have to change your behaviors, and it's really uncomfortable. You have to start to set boundaries with your clients. You can't over deliver anymore. I've told Michael to, like, okay, we are going to the spa, we're having time up, we're not sitting in Luxury at 8 a.m. in the morning, like all of these like boundaries that makes things sustainable, like all these kinds of things. It comes there's actually a lot of 7-figure entrepreneurs that don't have these boundaries in place, and they're just like working their butt off with the whole thing. And I think it's important to mention, because if they're literally copying you, they don't understand how marketing works. Like, they generally think that they are going to get better results by copying, which is very interesting when you are at 7 figures, not knowing that. But here's another thing. Like, if anybody wants to sign up with you, why should they?
There are many reasons, but
hit it. Yeah.
So basically, if someone wants to sign up with me, I'm going to give results. I'm not activating, because usually that's what people do, activating energy, blah, blah, blah. So I'm giving results, and also I stick to what I say, because I have been through the entire process of what it takes to not only make that money once, but really like keeping it sustainable, and even while keeping it sustainable, even like making it more. Yeah. So this is what it takes to get these kind of results. So if people want to perform in a sense of like, all right, let's change the life, let's change my bank account, I'm ready. Like if you are ready for a change, yes, this is when you want to sign up, because money is just the byproduct. Yeah. But then once you are that new version and you get to have the results all while changing, then you're not going to lose it anymore. Yeah. Because it's not about creating this once, it's about really creating the sustainability and the freedom.
Yeah, we don't really care about anything but the sustainability in the thing. Okay, but here's my last question today. Why are you better than anybody else out there?
I would say this comes very natural to me. I'm a very, let's call it stubborn person. When I want someone to succeed, they are going to succeed. Unless they say like, hey, you know what? I just made like 13K. I don't want to have more. But then this is the person's decision. But if someone wants to really make like 50, 100K or not, yes, I'm stubborn enough to get you there.
Good. Good. Okay, everybody, let's just say, I think we're just gonna wrap it up, and you guys can just like comment your questions and everything in the, unless the people that's here actually have the question. Let's just stay on for like 2 minutes or something. If you guys have any questions, they can. And we can just catch up after this call, you and I also. We can do that. All right. Okay, so let me just ask you, let's guess, what has been the absolute most challenging thing? What has been like so challenging? You never thought you had to do that, and you were throwing up on yourself, but it gave you a lot of results.
There is not just one thing. There are many things. So I would say, first of all, like really doing sales. Yeah. Not just like, oh, let's just inspire people. Let's just throw it all out there, but really doing sales. And then like really when I know this, because the growth, as we said, there is a point where it's not going to feel so good. And I noticed with myself, I had a phase where kind of like, okay, I would be successful, and which is good, but then like really not letting my pattern win. Yeah. And this is basically where my system would do everything to like really make my pattern win, in a sense of like, okay, let's postpone. Let's just feel tired. Let's have headache, whatever. Yeah. So my system was really a hard nut on that. But at the end of the day, my pattern did not win. And I'm super, super happy about this, because I was not looking for like, oh, let's create results, then lose it all again. Then let's create it again, and then let the pattern win again. Mm-hmm. So this, I would say this was the most challenging part.
Yeah, I think this is something everybody should know. When you're doing this consistently, like Michaela is doing right now, your subconscious mind is going to like make you sick. It's going to make you nauseous. It's going to like, or in your case, getting headaches, like whatever is your thing, whatever your subconscious thing is the number one thing to stop you, to just like, oh, let's be tired today, or like, oh, let's just not do it today, or oh, now like my relationship is the most important thing on the planet Earth, and I'm just like forgot about selling or something, like something like that. It's very different. I literally had people getting pregnant. Like there's different from everybody. Not that it's wrong with it getting pregnant, but it's the timing of things. Like you have your biggest cash month, boom, you get pregnant, and now you're like freaking out, and then they're distracted, and then like your income goes down, like for real. So everybody's gonna have their own thing, and like the whole thing here is just like see it for what it is. It means that you're actually up leveling and changing. That's not the moment to stop. That's the moment to actually become aware, and then actually keep going and do the opposite. Then let's say you feel tired, and you actually go and do the things that make you feel energized, and then boom, you have like the sleep, and it gets consistent until it's a habit, and then your subconscious is completely reprogrammed, and then it's just chill. You know,
yeah. I really want to share here something, because I experienced it live. I did not only get the headaches, but also when I had like the first success, what happened? I had a breakup. And then it was like super challenging, because usually what I would have done in the years before when I had a business, I was like, healing and doing things where I would feel good, like really, really focusing only on myself and totally forget about my business. And this is actually one of the reasons why I lost the business back then in, I don't know, was it 2016, something like this, because the pattern had to fulfill itself.
Yeah, I know. So that's the tricky part. But when you master, like literally your own subconscious, when you master how these things work, and you're aware of the thing only you can do, then you're going to succeed no matter what. And you're just like the perfect example of that, obviously.
And I really feel like like doing the leap again. I'm just thinking how I'm gonna put this, yeah. Because if you have a breakup, yes, there is emotional stuff you have to handle with, yeah. But for me, my experience now, like doing the leap again, has gave me personally bigger healing than I've ever experienced before, because I was winning.
Ooh, yeah. Can you deepen that for 1 second? That's big.
Because like when relationships don't work, usually when you attract partners that are not so good for you, it's also a self-worth topic, right? And you have to have a really healthy and good self-worth in your business. And if you have like the breakup, usually the self-worth goes down, and then it's going to be reflected in your business. So, but because of me really focusing on the business and the inner work in the business, all while creating the results, it helped me actually heal from the breakup.
Yeah. And that's perfect, because there's nothing, if you're going through a breakup, there's nothing like doing, 60K cash in 2 days and whatnot. Like when you felt like, oh, this sucks, because nobody likes to go through a breakup, and then like boom, like everything changes and you can actually catch a pattern. Because I think a lot of people are interested in this in general. Like love and business are connected, and they're connected for better or for worse. Because if you have, let's say, an underlying belief that you're unlovable or something like that, and someone breaks up with you, is going to take all your attention. Or maybe for some people, they do really good in business, and then their love life goes to hell, and then they can't have both. That kind of thing. And then they overwork in their business. So at the end of the day, they really just don't feel they deserve the pleasure of like love, actually, like both places. I love these topics. I think they're important, because these are the things that makes it consistent. It's really, really not getting more leads on your list that nobody cares. Like that's not going to make it consistent.
Yeah. And I also feel like now that I have leveled up in my business so much, all while having the breakup, I also know now what I deserve in a relationship. And now it's like so clear. Everything is so clear. And I'm like, thank God.
Amen. I can't tell everybody about that. That is fantastic.
You mean about what? About me deserving more? About
yes.
me?
Yeah, I mean, you deserve more, how it's really impacting, because a lot of people really truly struggle with like not seeing the connection between the love and the business.
Yeah, as I said before, like the breakup really crushed my confidence. And so I was kind of like, okay, now we're going to bring the focus to the business, because it's also about the confidence there. Yeah. So I have like not held the confidence there, but because of like collapsing the time from doing like almost 100K months to like almost doing it in a week, this proof, like I'm so much more aware of myself, so much more aware of what I deserve, so much more aware of what I bring to the table, that it's now easy for me to also bring that into a relationship and not accept anything less than what I deserve.
And here's the very, very important thing, you guys. It's not just the money that changes that, because the money in and of itself is not going to change your self-image when it comes to men. Because we have like millionaires and billionaires on the planet that is in fucking abusive relationship to a certain degree. But this is all about owning and being that mentor that only you can be, like having those gifts and making that as a part of your identity. It's like you become a different person, you own it. And then the money comes on top of that. It's just a reflection of like what you became. Like you, like a couple of months ago, you already had the gifts, you already had everything inside of yourself, it just wasn't, you just wasn't aware, and you didn't own it because you wasn't aware, and then we have built the identity now month after month after month after month with all these uncomfortable things, which now she can see in the guy, like, I don't deserve that, fuck you, and fuck you, that's what I deserve. And that's what this is all about. So and this is also why anybody that's like a love coach out there or anything like that, if you work on the love coach, it has to go down to the finances, but not only in the amount of money you make, how you make the money, how pleasurable you make the money. Is it easy? Is it hard? You have to launch all the fucking time. Like, what's really going on? And you're just a greater example of that. Because a lot of people, they give in when something like that happens. It would be the perfect excuse, if you like, to stop focusing on your business. People go through divorce and they fucking tank their whole business out of it. Like, that's not uncommon, so you've done a really good job.
Thank you.
obviously, but no, I really like that, and I think that's something people should really think about. Because if people right now, let's say they want to work with you and they want to leave, but it's not the right time, or my boyfriend is this, that, or the other, or my mentor, blah, blah, blah. All these things are going to come up in month 2. Whatever triggers you, whatever makes you like not do the uncomfortable thing and move forward. So I think it's important for everybody to just see this, be kind of aware of this, like, now, right away. Because it's all about breaking those patterns, because then it becomes.
Yeah, and then you can actually own it, because for me, like, my biggest difference now is, like, when I compare back, when I already had the first success, yes, like, the relationship was kind of working, but then the more successful I became, the less the relationship would be working. And then it was like, okay, relationship is gone, and then business is like, okay, now it's a struggle. But I really hung in there. Like, I really decided consciously, okay, we are gonna go through this now, no matter what. And now I'm at the point where I say, okay, I know what I can own in my business. I know what I can claim, not by saying like, oh yeah, I claim to be a millionaire. No, I'm gonna do it. And then also the same goes with men. Then I know, okay, I know what I bring to the table. So, but what about you? Yeah, when I speak to a man, I don't accept anything less anymore. And I seriously believe this is the point where where the fun part starts, with business, with men, with life, with everything.
It is. Because it's no fun to like not get what you want every time, and like see actually you can get something more and different. But I think there's one thing that's really, really important, because all of these changes that we talked about right now, how has that actually changed your energy? Because a lot of people talked about energy and changing your energy and being his people energy and all these kinds of things. But all this growth and all the uncomfortable shit that you have done, how has this really changed your energy in terms of what it's vibrating right now?
Oh, it's vibrating super sexy. No, it's like really, there is like really the safety is there, because I know exactly, okay, if I want to make 50K cash week, I'm going to do it in 2 days. Yeah. So there is the confidence there, the safety there, like really a sexiness there. Yes. And it is the vibe. Yeah. And it just doesn't come from like, oh, let's just calibrate to it. No, I have grown into it. And this is a huge difference.
And this is also, you guys that's watching, it's because higher vibration is out of your comfort zone. Higher vibration truly is out of your comfort zone. It's not something you can just access without, we wish, because that will be good. We don't have to work and, grow whatsoever. We could just take a pill.
But then, because if it would be like, oh, let's just tune into the higher frequency. Well, if this is really working how people perceive it, then everyone would be a millionaire already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. So it's just important for you guys to really remember that the high vibrations are outside of your comfort zone, and it wouldn't be impossible to make this consistent unless like you do everything that we've talked about today, essentially. And the comfort and the fun and all that kind of thing, it comes after the leap. Like when you go into the leap, when you decide to trust, when you decide to invest, when you decide to like listen intently and do it, that's the uncomfortable part. Like the coaching with me and coaching with you is not particularly comfortable the first time, right? But then when you have the results and afterwards, that's when it starts to go into your brain, because your brain is completely rewired. It's like your subconscious, like, what the fuck? Like, what's this?
It's also like when people then have results once and they then think like, oh, I can do it by myself now. No, they can't, because I know from my own experience, no, it's not possible. And I know also for other people, no, because it doesn't. There needs to be a point where it's been like for the sustainability, you have to develop a new pattern, and a new pattern is not created by doing things once.
Yeah, but tell everybody why though. But because let's say you made 100K cash and like, great, I'm just going to do it again. Can you go a little bit deeper into why?
Yes, because the old pattern is still there. Yeah. So, and then, yes, there comes an event that is going to trigger you. And then it's like, whoops. So, and this is the moment I'm most excited for, when exactly this moment is happening, because this is the moment where the growth is happening. And this is the moment where then the implementation of the new pattern starts, and where the sustainability starts, but not before.
And when we talk about pattern, you guys, we literally means changing your subconscious mind. We're literally changing everything, like your self-image in your mind, like your beliefs, like everything that's in your mind, just so everybody understands. Because we as human beings, we work through patterns. We do things like predictably, all of us, like no matter what it is. But yeah, I wanted to share that, because whenever you are, let's say you're making 100K cash month and everything, and now you think you can do it by yourself. There's another important thing, that if you sign up with a mentor and make 50K, 100K cash or something like that, you don't know how it happened. You just experienced it, because there's not enough time, if you get it the first month or something, to understand it. And the power truly comes from understanding. Like, so this is part of what Michaela has done. She's really started to understand the transformation, what is really going on, like beyond just like what she thinks is going on and what's really going on. And this is what creates the power and the certainty to be able to do it again. And that you just don't get from yourself, because you are the receiver, not like the giver of the lead. Does that make sense? But it's important to know, because that's where that calmness comes from. If you can understand it, you can obviously do it again. But if you don't understand it, it's not going to work. Like, and then you just get frustrated. Okay.
I mean, I'm the perfect example, because I just collapsed almost an entire month into like half of a week, and I worked less. Yeah. And I really feel like there is this calmness, and it's like, this is fucking amazing.
It is fucking amazing. It all is. Okay, everybody, we could probably just chat until end of time, but let's not do that. But it was obviously very nice to have you here, of course, and we'll talk soon. Okay, but bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.